What's up, guys? Zero. What's up, guys? Zeenigami here, and let's go through Zero Stamina Enel Forest on the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. Yes, that's right, Zero Stamina Enel, you're not watching the wrong channel. The big thing here is that this double 6-star Blackbeard team is going to have level 5 heal per turn. Whitebeard's ship is going to give us a lot of health. And early on, we're going to be looking for recovery and letting our heal per turn trying to catch up to our very, very large health pool. You can also use Marco Special to heal if you want to use it earlier on and then save Marco Special a second time for later. You can use a Doflamingo, either blue, green, or purple Doflamingos will work here instead of the Fujitora. And you can use unevolved 6-star Whitebeard instead of 6+ Whitebeard, although 6+ Whitebeard also gives you that orb manipulation. So we're not going to really care about anything until stage 11, and then after that on stage 15. On stage 11, we're going to care because right here, they're going to give you, or they're going to start taking environmental damage from Enel's lightning. He's going to deal 5,700 damage to you every 3 turns, and if you have 5+ Luffys, or if you have any Luffys, or if you have any Enels, then you will take less damage based on how many Luffys and how many Enels you have. So for each Luffy and each Enel, you will take 1/6 less damage. So if you have a double log Luffy team, or using 6-star Enel, or even 1 log Luffy and Koto Zone team, you'll take less damage from that environmental lightning. Stage 15 is the one that we care about because that's when you'll actually have health. 13 and 14 are where we have barriers, and with a 6-star Blackbeard friend captain, you're not going to have to worry about that at all. And yes, I know this team is very hard to make. I know this team is not free to play at all, but I hate doing Zero Stamina Islands, so I'm just going to be using a really, really powerful team. And this took me 2 tries. As long as you don't mess up when you're getting someone low health, you should do great. Gedatsu, good hit barrier, still only 270,000 hit points. You can kill him in a single turn. Attacks every 3 turns, so you can take multiple turns here if you want. But I would recommend at this point to not really take your time on most stages unless you have to wait for specials, because that environmental damage every 3 turns is probably going to deal more damage to you than you will be healing until you use your Marco Special. So stage 15 with Ohm, he's got 1 million hit points. He'll lower our rate of getting recovery orbs for 8 turns. He'll shuffle our orbs and prevent debuffs to himself. He attacks every 3 turns for 800,000 damage. And on turn 3, he'll enrage himself. We're just going to try to kill him over these first 3 turns. Shouldn't be any problem at all. It'll be even easier using the blue Doflamingo. But even with the Sai Fujitora, it's fine. Eat some recovery orbs if you have them. And end on your quick characters, either your Marco or your Dofi, or both. So there is the Enrage, where he will boost his attack to 1,400 and attack every single turn instead of attacking every 3 turns. Take him out. Next turn is versus Enel. Enel is a side character. He has 1.1 million hit points. He'll preemptively deal 1,000 damage to you. He'll paralyze your right 3 characters for 3 turns. And he'll prevent debuffs to himself. So what you want to do is you want to attack for as much damage as you can. I like starting my attacks on Paralysis character until one of them actually works. And then make sure I get my 3 combos of my non-paralyzed characters, and then maybe end on another paralyzed character if I have it. So see there, my Marco actually attacked. Then I can get a guaranteed 3 attacks in a row, and maybe get some more attacks after that. That just a little way to get a little more damage there. Enel will reduce his damage taken. Oh, I'm sorry, not this Enel. I'm completely thinking about the wrong Enel. That's not until later. Enel below 30% here will attack you for 10,000 damage whenever he attacks, and below 20% he'll heal back up to 70% health. So you want to get him as low as you can and then burst him down. And with this team, we get a few good orbs, and it's not really going to matter. Just going to be very careful not to get him below 30% health here, so I don't attack my Fujitora. And we got lucky, got some matching orbs, so we can take him out right there. The next stage is going to be one of the big stages. We're going to be using a Golden Pound Usopp on the next stage. I will use Marco here to heal up and also boost our orbs to make sure that we kill Enel, although I probably could have gotten away without using the Marco special. But now that Enel is dead, we're going to be using Golden Pound Usopp on stage 17. Remember that there is no preemptive attack on stage 17. You shouldn't have had to use a special until now, but if you had, remember that there is no preemptive here, so you will not get your cooldowns reduced by a turn. If you use your Marco at the end of last turn, you'll still have a 1-turn orb boost, and so I was going into this stage with orb boost for 1 turn because that buff is still around because there is no preemptive attack. Take out the characters that are on low attack cooldowns, and you'll want to be very, very careful not to get the Braham, which is the green guy on the back there with the basically beanie head covering his eyes. Don't get him below 50% because he will blind you for 11 turns. Not the worst thing in the world if you're really, really confident, but it'll make it your run a lot harder. Do not get Wiper below 50%, because Wiper below 50% will enrage everyone, so that way they attack every turn for 1.5 times their regular attack. So watch out for those 2 guys below 50%. Everyone else, you can take your time. Gedatsu here, you won't do stuff until he actually attacks. He attacks for 10,000 damage every 3 turns, and with this team, we're going to be just getting Gedatsu down and then stalling a lot more on Ganfor, but other teams can stall on Gedatsu here if you need to, since he has very predictable damage as long as you keep him above 20%. Against Ganfor, he has just under 2 million hit points. He will preemptively boost his defense for 3 turns. He attacks every 2 turns for 7,900, and every other turn he will give you G orbs, block orbs, bomb orbs, tan-up orbs, and recovery orbs, and you can reset that. So if he gives you a lot of block orbs, or if you just need a few recovery orbs or something like that, you can exit out of the game and reset it, and he will change whatever orbs he gives you. And you don't have to do that before your turn. You can do that after you see what orbs you get and everything. So we're going to be doing as much damage as we can to him while avoiding that 20%, because below 20% he'll attack us for 100,000 damage. Once his defense buff goes away, it's going to be very easy to kill him if we get a matching orb or 2 on our Blackbeards. We won't have to use a special. Gonna be getting some recovery orbs if we can, and since we know exactly how much damage that he deals, we're gonna wait a few turns here so I can have my Marco back potentially whenever we get over to Enel. So you don't need to stall here, but it is going to be very nice. One thing you will have to wait for is Golden Pound Usopp, so make sure you don't go too quickly and don't have Golden Pound Usopp ready again, because we're going to be using Golden Pound Usopp on the next stage. So here I got no recovery orbs at all, and I kind of want to look for recovery orbs. You'll see me reset, and the reset gives me, I think, 1. No, I didn't get any recovery orbs. Oh well. Just kept it. Didn't feel like resetting it that much. Not necessary, but it is an option. Gonna look for some better orbs. Careful not to bring him below 20%. And then since he attacks every 2 turns, we can get him below 20% here and then kill him on the next turn. So even though we do not have good orbs here, we can get him low and then finish him off, kill him over 2 turns, because he will not be attacking until it's actually his turn to attack. The next stage is going to be probably the stage that most people will die on. That is going to be Wiper, Udaji, Usopp, and Nami. Wiper, Udaji, Usopp, and Nami. Nami and Usopp are going to be your first kills because they will be on a very short attacking every single turn cooldowns. Usopp will get a counter buff, which means that on his first attack, he will deal damage to you, however much damage you've dealt to him. Nami will, on her first attack you for 7,600 damage, shuffle all your orbs, and rewind your specials by 1 turn. Udaji will attack you based on how much health he has left. So at full health, he attacks you for 9,600. At 80% health, he attacks you for 12,000. At 50% health, he attacks you for 14.4. Below 30%, he attacks you for 16.8. And below 20%, he attacks you for 19.2. Very important to note about Uji is that below 30%, he'll gain prevents all damage to himself for 3 turns, although since we're using 6-star Blackbeards, it won't matter to us. But if you're using a different team, that is going to be very relevant, not being able to deal any damage to him. If you want, you can use a Blackbeard special here or your Whitebeard special here to help you deal damage to these 4 guys. I'm saving all my specials for the very last stage because I like being cocky, and alright, we're just going to try to get through most of this with our regular attacks. The Wiper is going to be something that we're going to have to pay very close attention to, because Wiper will attack every 2 turns for 12,000 damage, but whenever he dies, he will heal 96,000 hit points, and he will revive and deal 5,000 damage back to us. So he'll revive, he'll heal himself for 96,000 hit points, which isn't much at all, but he will deal 5,000 damage back to us immediately. So make sure you're able to take that and whatever lightning damage you would take. So here I'm going to be using Fujitora special because I did not do enough damage to Usopp. This is when I mentioned that you can and maybe should use a Whitebeard or Blackbeard special here, since with a orb boosting special like Fujitora and 1 or 2 health cuts, we can kill the Enel easily, especially with the healing from our Marco if we need it. So I'm going to kill the Uji first, because Uji will be attacking harder. Wiper, we know exactly how hard to be attacking. And we'll take the Uji down, especially since we get the matching orb on the Marco. Here Uji is boosting his attack, but he's not actually going to attack it. He's just going to boost his attack and gain that prevents all damage buff to himself, which doesn't really matter to our team at all since we are using 6-star Blackbeard Captain. Against the Wiper, I have enough health to take another attack from him. So I don't need to use another special. We're just going to be attacking Wiper, getting him as low as we can, killing him in 3 turns, and then after the revive, take damage from him and move on to the Enel stage and use our Marco to heal after we get to Enel. Not only letting us heal, but also boosting our orbs. You can use Psy Enel and Psy Marco instead of our Marco, but then you'll lose out on a very strong quick character to attack with, and also lose out on that orb boost for the extra special damage. So here we'll get him low just to buy a little more time. If you play it slow against Enel, you can also use Usopp special again against Enel after Enel's debuff protection goes away, because Enel is basically the raid boss Enel. It's almost exactly raid boss Enel. So there is the revive, there is the 5,000 damage to our team, and then we'll kill him over those 2 turns. You can kill him now or kill him over the 2 turns, depending on if you want to take the environmental damage or not. I'll let him live. I have enough heal to take a lightning bolt environmental damage, and then we'll kill him on this turn while looking for some matching orbs, especially on our Marco, who I did not look for a matching orb on. And finally, against Nell, he has 2.4 million hit points. He'll preemptively reduce damage taken by 50% and prevents debuffs to himself for 3 turns. Same thing as the raid boss version of him. He attacks every single turn for 6,300, just like the raid boss version. Every 3 turns, he will clear all buffs and shuffle orbs. That includes positive buffs, damage reduction buffs to you, and also delays on him. So you can... I tried to look for better orbs there for the Whitebeard special, but since I didn't get any better orbs, I'll just play it the slow way. You can burst him in a single turn if you use all 3 specials, Blackbeard, Blackbeard, Whitebeard, or whatever you have left over. Or you can use Marco to heal. Don't get him below 50%, attack him a few times, and after you get him lower, use whatever remaining specials that you have, and then Golden Pound Usopp him after he clears buffs. So wait until he clears buffs, use Golden Pound Usopp. Of course, after the debuff protection barrier goes away. Obviously, you can't debuff him while that's up, so we're getting him right above 50% here. Wait until the buff clear, which should be next turn, looking for matching orbs wherever we can. Whitebeard special will also help give us some matching orbs. And then we'll go on Usopp, just be safe, but This is over. This is a finished run. The Arc Maxim ship, which of course is the reward for this Zero Stamina Island, is a very good ship. It boosts the attack of Psy and Quick characters by 1.5 times, boosts their health by 1.2 times, and it has a 17 turn special that deals 56,600 damage. And that is fixed damage that ignores defense, but it will still get hit by barriers. So you can use it to kill stuff like princess turtles or anything with very, very high defense. It's a very good ship overall. Guys, I've been Zeenigami. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy these skill ups. Good luck if you're doing Zero Stamina Enel. And y'all stay beautiful.